it's me again. Right, so I'm back this week. As I said last week, if you miss a stream, every week I'm going to be coming on and just giving you sort of an update of my apprenticeship, what's been going on, everything I'm getting up to, etc. Showing you my work and just having a general chat about tattoos, artwork, that kind of thing. And I'll be saving the streams onto my YouTube channel. It is really bad quality, but until I can get a camera, it's not really gonna look good, but at least you can listen to it and catch up. I'm not really going to be doing sort of any talks about politics or, you know, personal problems or anything like that, because that kind of happened last time and it put me off streaming. So yeah, I went through all that on the last week's stream. So if you want to catch up with that and find out my story about how I got an apprenticeship, how I got into it, everything, just go back and watch that. It is on here, but if it's gone off because it's been 7 days, then go to my YouTube channel. It is on there. I also share a lot of my artwork and what I'm up to on my Instagram quite a lot, so you can check that out. So last week I said that today I will be going through my portfolio. So this is pretty much a folder of work that you take with you when you're trying to get an apprenticeship. It shows your best work or your current work, a variety of styles, things like that. If you've got any questions, feel free to message me about anything if I don't see it on the chat, or if you've got a question later, or reach out on Instagram or anything. So yeah, what happened with me was I didn't have one ready, and if you go back and watch last week and listen to the story of how I got my apprenticeship, it was kind of very well, unbelievable, but a bit like a fluke. So yeah, it was kind of strange, not expected. So I didn't have anything really prepared. I had some work that I'd been doing before, even some work from previous streams, but I'd not really put anything together. So this is what I literally threw together the night before going in to the studio for the first time and meeting what would have been my potential mentor, which obviously now is. So I said I'd go through it. So this is just like a little plastic folder. I've got plastic wallets inside. You can obviously get, if you're preparing one, you can get a nicer one. You can get a nice sort of hardback one, stick your pieces into it properly rather than just in plastic wallets. But they don't, no one really seems to mind as long as you're just showing your work. So everything will be kind of in reverse, but I will show you the work. So what I did was I put one of my most eye-catching pieces at the front that it could kind of see through the plastic. So that's what he kind of got faced with, and happens to be, I think he said it was one of his favourite pieces, and I remember doing this on a stream on here a while ago. So this is just a sort of bunny with dot work, like a black work one with dot work. I think I did this around Halloween time on here quite a while ago. I think they're still on my YouTube channel as well. So I started off with like a really bold, eye-catching piece there, and then I included the sketch. I included the little sketch with it that I did as an initial idea. So they're always good to do. Any tracings you've done for your pieces or sketches to show your sort of work behind and thoughts behind your final pieces, I've found it quite good to put in your portfolio. This was a Legends of Zelda piece I did, black work and colour, just to show different styles that I could do, like clouds, again dot work, fine lines that show they're not wobbly or anything, and a bit of colour and everything there. And again, I included the tracings that I did, so it showed that I'd done any work. I'm not sure if chat's on, I can't actually see. I am, in case you're watching, I am actually streaming off my very old phone, so quality will be bad and I can't check everything. So like I said, when I can get some better equipment, I will, to continue this. This is a piece I actually did on a live stream. It's a tiger, kind of neo-traditional style, with some shading, golden pencil with a bit of pen for the black work. Again, just showing that you can do smooth shading and different styles and fine lines and everything. This may look horrendous on the YouTube video, I do apologise, but you know, I can always put pictures up on Instagram to show you. This is an old piece I did. It's just a skeleton, a black and white version, like a gambling skeleton, pirate guy with some dice. And I did with that a colour piece that I included, just to show the variation, and the original pencil sketch. And I did sort of all my illustration pieces at the front of the folder, because I actually looked at the work that my mentor does, and a lot of it is realism, so this would stand out as different to him to look at initially. And this was the very first idea sketch that I shoved in. It's really rubbish, but I included it just to show how I'd worked from that all the way to the first one that I showed you. This was just a crystal piece that I did on a live stream a while ago, interactive with you guys, and we chose the crystal placements and colours and things together. So I just included that anyway, because it's good at showing, you know, line work, circular shapes, things like that. This was the original. Oops, please get a better folder than this. It's very wet. It's alright one on table, but held up it's not so great. That was the original line work. This next piece was a piece that I did for a skating company competition. So this was the colour version, because it'll be back to front. The main word on the boot says freedom. This one says happiness, flow, and this says confidence and community, because it was supposed to represent some things that they were asking for, how skating made their community feel and everything. So yeah, that was that. And I didn't win the competition, but I was asked to potentially in the future participate with some other things, so that was good. And this was the black work sort of version of it. So you had to do, for the competition, you had to do one of each. Oh, thank you. So obviously I've progressed since these. These are some of my older just pencil sketches. I put them in again just to show progression, different styles that I've done, etc. There's another one. This is everything that I let him see. Let him have a good look through all my work. These as well. Different styles. This one's actually being tattooed. Not exactly the same, but my partner actually went to a tattooist and had this one done. He did change sort of the smoke and everything, but essentially this one was tattooed, not by me. Some other pieces there. I did actually take another book with me, which I'll need to get with you. I took this folder and I actually took another book. This is actually my hand. I did this on a live stream. This is now going into more sort of realism pieces, just to show him something he's more familiar with and that I can do that as well. That was just a quick sketch of my hand during a live stream while I was chatting. This piece is the piece that he saw on my Instagram page before he messaged me, this eye, and he really loved that. That was the last piece that I did, but I didn't put it first in the realism part of the folder because I wanted him to search for it and to stop when he saw it. So this was his favourite realism piece. I was quite proud of that. It took me a long time. And then these are some previous old study sketches, mouths, noses, etc. Always good to do studies, especially of if you want to do realism of harder parts of the body, like hands, feet, noses especially. This is what I did on a live stream. It was just a study of my legs, just to show, just as something to do at the time, but I included it even though it's not the best quality, just to show I could draw from life, and also I can also do hands and feet, and a lot of people find them difficult. So that was pretty much everything I included in this folder. I did actually have a book. One second, if I can find it quick. I did forget to get it together. 1 minute. This folder, it is actually on my Instagram as well. In my Flash Designs book, I've got it on my reels, so if you want to have a look you can see it there. But if I can find it quick on here, I'm not sure where I put it actually. I wonder where that went. But I do have a little black book. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, I found it. It's this one. This isn't full, it's only got 1 or 2 pieces in it. But I also took this in to show that I can do sort of tattoo designs as well. This way. So it's just a little cheap book with thick paper. So I just had a lot of tiny bits of flash in it that I'd been just practicing doing in general. Some sort of like Valentine's kind of style ones there. Kiki's delivery service there and there. Some Spirited Away there, can't see, there, and My Neighbour Totoro there. Just simplified drawings really, and a couple of other pieces there. These were done with ink and masking fluids, which are then peeled off after, so that's what gave that kind of effect, in case you wanted to try it. This was from a flash sheet I did, from a flash sheet that I did sort of on a live stream a while ago, and then I cut all the pieces up and I put them in this book. And although looking at them now I can see that they probably wouldn't make the best tattoos, they'd need to be adjusted. At the time, obviously I thought they were really good, but it's something I can go back and work on. I think that's the potentially saw. Like a watercolour skull, the ink version, well, biro version, some koi fish I did in colour and plain. Don't know if you saw that. There we go. What's that? Do you have any advice when creating tattoo designs? I've had a friend say they might want. Can't see all of the chat. 1 sec. Oh, I can't see it all. It's cutting it off. 1 second. I can't. Oops. I can't see the whole chat. It's kind of cut the last little bit off, but I've had a friend say they might want me to design one for them. I have no idea where to start. If it were me and you were asking me for a tattoo design, I'd first ask you, where on your body do you want it? Because that sort of dictates the general shape that you can do, what will work on that part of the body. So find out where they want it on the body. If you actually look up online, I'm going to go through this on another stream, but because I'm still learning it myself, there's what they call a flow for the body. So you'll see like a full sort of image, a model of a body, and then there'll be sort of like lines to flow, and these flow lines show you which way, say for example the tattoo is a portrait or something, or has a face of any kind, like which ones should point in and where, which should point out to look right sat on the body, you know, what things should go in which spaces. So generally you wouldn't put on high movement areas anything like a circle or anything like the middle of a face, because it could get warped looking. So I'd ask them where do you want it on your body first. Then I'd say, how big do you want the design? Obviously the bigger the better really for it, because then it'll last longer, because you'll have clearer lines, because tattoos as they age the lines blur, and sometimes need retouching. But I know a lot of people like small fine line tattoos, which are okay, but they're not, they can last quite well depending on how they're done, but they won't last as well as one that's done with quite strong line work. But obviously with that as well, the smaller you go and the more details you try to pack into a small area, because of how tattoos age, they will all blur together. For example, my first tattoo, I have a half moon shape, but sort of like with the tips pointing up, and inside it was all black dot work, which was nice. But as it's aged over the, I don't know, 8 years or so that I've had it, 10 years, something like that, all these dots have now started to merge together and the moon looks almost black. Completely different to what it did when it started. So just bear in mind, you know, where they want it, and the size that they're asking for, make sure it's not too small. Then I would ask them, is there anything in particular that you like? Have you seen anything anywhere else? Because obviously you don't want to copy someone else's design, you want to do your own. But, you know, for example, is there a style you've seen you've liked? Like, do you like realistic? Do you like neo-traditional? Do you like traditional? Do you like, you know, like Japanese style? Do you like illustration style? I can't say it properly. You know, is you know, do you like abstract? Is there any kind of style in particular that you've seen? And if they're not sure what it's called, to show you pictures so that you can identify what the style is for them. You know, is there anything kind of style-wise that they like? That'll give you an idea of where to start for kind of the theme of it. You know, is there anything, have they got any ideas of, you know, anything they want in the tattoo? Like, do they want, you know, do they want writing in it? Do they want animals in it? Do they want a particular flower? Is there a meaning behind the tattoo why they want it? And then they'll point you in little directions to give you lots of little ideas to put together to create them a tattoo. Also find out if they want colour or not. So that's what there's the questions that I'd be asking. And then from that I could probably get a rough idea of the kind of direction they want to go. I'd do a couple of sketches and say, like, is this the kind of thing that you mean? And then what I'd also do is I'd ask them, what do you definitely not want to include in it? What would you absolutely hate? Because then I know what to avoid. So if I'm thinking something's a good idea and I don't know that they would hate that, and I include it in the design, they're not going to like it, are they? And it just means more work for you to redesign it. So find out placement, size, colour or not, if they know the style, any elements they want to include, if there's a meaning they want to include into it, anything they really do not want. That's where I'd start. And then in terms of drawing, it depends how you already draw, how you already design. So for me, I draw by hand. So I would just start with a pencil sketch, or I'd have a look online for some inspiration of things to do with the theme they want, or, you know, if it's a particular animal, get some reference images, do a couple of sketches. Then I'd go over it in liner, to then sort of simplify it to make a design, unless it was obviously realism. But then with realism you can kind of simplify it to a degree and sort of mark out light areas. Like, for example, if it was my face, you can see on my glasses I've got reflections sort of on my nose, cheeks. So what I'd do is I'd just, in pencil lightly when I'm doing the sketch, I'd sort of mark these off as sort of in a bubble shape, so I know that's where the highlights are. And I'd draw in sort of the dark sections to show, alright, that's where the darker areas are going to be, you know, that kind of thing. If they want colour in it, if you've got some marker pens or whatever in similar colours, just do like a couple of swatches at the side and just say, oh, this is the colour palette I'm thinking of. Even if you don't colour it all in, these are the colours I'm thinking of, what do you think? And if you design digitally, it's probably a lot easier for you, because you can actually make multiple changes to an image pretty quickly compared to hand drawing. So that's where I'd start, and then I'd sort of have a sit-down consultation with them if you can, or over a video call. It's always better speaking and getting an instant feedback to any of your questions than to sort of wait for messages and things. So hopefully that's helpful. If you do need more help, give us a message, definitely on Instagram because I'm always on there. And if I don't know the answer, I can ask my mentor as well, and we can get you the answer and try and help you out. Thank you, I'll definitely take note and keep your advice in mind. Didn't realise there was so much to consider. Yeah, neither did I when I first started as well. But yeah, as I'm watching and learning and seeing other people design and nosing in, asking questions and everything, and sort of getting stuck in, there are a lot more elements than thank you, it'll be great. Yeah, there are a lot more elements to it than I thought as well, so that's why I'm doing this kind of stream series, is to pass that on to you guys and sort of help you like this. So yeah, anyway, that flashbook, I just pretty much stuck a load of pictures in there as well. So that's what I took with me to my first meeting with my mentor at the studio, but mine was a bit strange, so I would suggest getting tattooed by the person you want to learn from a few times, getting to know them, being in the studio more, and probably not doing it the way that I did it, because I'm not quite sure how that happened. It was a bit of a fluke, but you know, it was good. But you know, generally try and get to know the people first is a good idea. And a good thing to do is just say you are interested in learning, but because they might be put off by someone directly asking for an apprenticeship, just say, because you're an artist and obviously you've been going to them, getting work, and you know, showing them that you like the work and you think they're good, just say, would you, because you're an artist, be able to give me some feedback on some of my work so I can improve myself, and in the future maybe I can sort of get a bit closer to learning one day, and then sort of drop it as hints. And then maybe when they're looking for someone, if they want to look for someone, or they know someone else that is looking, they will have seen your work, they'll have got to know you, and you might be in with a chance if you keep pestering. So that's that. And I thought I would show you some more work of what I've been doing since I've been at the studio. So this is just a little folder I carry around with me. I only work from a small cheap A5 sketch pad. I think I've got it at the work, so yeah, not a big budget at the minute. But some things my mentor had me straight away doing was stop drawing in pencil, which, you know, killed me inside because I love drawing in pencil and I love drawing people. And yeah, so I'm going to go through each piece that he told me to do. So I had to start drawing in biro, so he just said just practice with light and that. So this is just a couple of studies, really rough, to practice direction for light. Very first thing I did. Then he said he wanted me to draw roses, so I just found a picture online and just started drawing. Really scratchy, wasn't used to using the pen, couldn't blend properly. I found out later it was actually the wrong kind of pen because I just picked any pen. And I will actually show you in a minute what pen I got recommended by one of the artists in the studio called Emma. She's great, and that changed everything for me. So if you're looking to do that, I will share that with you in a minute. Can't go wrong with the sketchbook from the works. True, yeah, not the highest quality, but you know, it's there and it works, just like the name of the show. So yeah, anyway, I moved on to more roses, which he affectionately called cabbages. I wasn't used to drawing them at all. I kind of liked this one, but yeah, apparently they look like cabbages, so I had to keep improving. So I tried another one. It looked more like a cabbage. So he gave me an image and he said, try and do this image. I want you just to do this image. Don't make any up. Don't go online and look at any others. Do the image I give you. Do it in biro. Do it properly. This was the image he gave me. Right? That's the image he gave me. This is what I did with it. And I think I finally shut him up. So comparison side by side. This was when I started using the pen that I was recommended. And if I go back to this one, you can see close up on this black one here. It's kind of scratchy, doesn't blend very well even though I tried. this one blends really, really well. It's almost like using a pencil if you're really light. Very, very good. So then he gave me the next one to work on, which was skulls, and this was the reference image he gave me, because he found it worked well when he set me the reference image. He knew what to expect because he could compare it because he had the original image. And this is what I did. So if I just go closer, that was the main one skull that I did. And then I decided myself to not listen to him and just do my own thing, which seems to be working, to be fair. I did a close-up there, study of the top of the head, and close-up of the nose and top mouth, jaw area a bit. So that's that. If you notice, all the images are high contrast, so that really helps when you're learning as well, to help you with depth. Now this other one was my very first, I think this is the one that I showed on last stream. It's my very first sort of, I don't like drawing animals, very first sort of fluffy animal, and this was the reference image he gave me. It's actually the same image as part of a tattoo that he did for a customer that very same day, and at the end of the day he gave me this and he said, I want you to do this one. And I was really proud of this until I decided to, sorry, I've got something in my eye, till I decided to then use a white gel pen on top without testing it first, and it just blurred and made all of the ink from the biro bleed, which, oh dear, I've got something stuck in my eye. Sorry. Yeah, so it has kind of ruined the whiskers at the front, but I haven't fixed it yet. But what I would do is next time is I would just sort of leave a negative space for the whiskers, and then sort of like if that's the whisker negative space, I would then do all the black sort of work around it in the future, and then I would gradually cut into that to thin out that white area, and then sort of make a whisker out of the negative space rather than try and put white on top. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to fix this, but that's a reference image and that's what I did. So I think for my first go, not too bad. So that's the kind of stuff they might ask you to do, is start drawing in biro. The reason for this, I asked, and the reason is because the motions that you've got to do when you're using biro and the lightness of touch and things like that is you can't really erase the biro, just like when you're using your machine. Oh, thank you. It did take me ages and I was gutted when I ruined it at the end, so we just won't look at that one for now. But yeah, I asked the question, and this is the pen, I'll show you now. It is a Bic Crystal Original, oh that's not it, that's my pencil, sorry. It is a Bic Crystal Original black fine line pen. I know that's a bit in reverse, but just plain biro. You can, I actually got these off Amazon. A box of 50 was about, I think, 12 or 13 pounds. They last ages, they're really good. This smooth blend, this is what I was recommended. In fact, the artist actually gave me hers to start with before I ordered my own. Instant improvement in quality and blending and everything, so I would definitely recommend them as well. And she did say that when you're ordering them online, this is usually clear, but sometimes it can be opaque as well, like full orange. So just, that's the pen there. I know it's in reverse, but you might be able to get that maybe. Yeah, so that's the pen I recommend, because it was recommended to me and it is good, it does work. So yeah, then I just got asked to do a few simple fine line pieces. I didn't have any fine liners that hadn't dried out, so just a quick sketch of a couple of bits. I think this was just for him to see if I could just sort of do smooth lines, really. I don't think it was actually for studying skill or anything, just a smooth line. So he asked me to do a different one, so I did sort of a jaw in that style with just a purple fine liner that I happened to find, but he said he wanted black ones, so he actually went and got me some fine liners. I will I will get them for you actually. I will show you them as well. 1 minute. A bit stuck. Okay. Right. I'm back. Now I've actually oh, got my legs stuck. Very small tight corner here. I've actually put a bit of paper inside this as my mentor recommended, just to show the line thickness. Oh, sorry, that way. The line thicknesses. Keep them in the same order. Show the line thicknesses for quick reference. You can just find what you need. And these are the Micron Graphic. It says black fine liner pens. These are also off Amazon. I didn't order these. He actually surprised me with them. But let's see if I can get I can't get it out. But I'll get one out for you. It's the Micron Graphic. And we can see that with the reflections. And you get, how many is this? You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 12 fine liners in there of various thicknesses. They're really good. I've been using these to line my work now all the time, so I recommend them. Yes, so he just had me in the studio the other day, the other week, just sort of, he said, just come up with some simple designs, and we're gonna practice with your fine liners, just to show me that you can do smooth lines and things like that by hand, because obviously that's important when you tattoo in. So did this one, which is I think called a cheese plant or something leaf, with just some lines on it, some dot work and that, just to practice using the liners. This one is one where I just sat down. It's the first one I did actually, and I didn't have an idea. I just started drawing, so I'm not really sure what that is, but that's just, you know, practicing the lines, dot work and everything. And then this one was a rose, which he actually didn't like because he said it was too round. But yeah, anyway, so then this is before I added all the black bits in, and then he seemed to like it after that. But yeah, that's everything out of that folder so far, and then I'll show you the pieces I've been working on after I've thrown my pens on the floor. I'll show you the pieces I've been working on now to catch you up, just to show the kind of things you'll be doing. I've been asked to do a few simple designs or to come up with a theme for a flash sheet. So I just combined Pokemon, tarot cards, and a bit of Art Nouveau. And let me just find the pieces. I began tracing, well, not tracing, I used tracing paper, again from the works. I just started drawing on tracing paper, and the reason why I did that is, instead of paper, regular paper, is because I wanted to be able to then transfer them on and place them onto a larger A3 sheet, and sort of use my light drawing pad to light up the background. I could just sort of trace through, and I could place them where I wanted and redraw them. So I'll show you. So this one here, that's Pikachu as the Fool, on tracing paper. And the next one I did was Bulbasaur, just holding it up on the sketchbook so you can see it there, all done by hand with my fine liners. The next one was Gengar, that was the Death, oh, Bulbasaur was the Empress, by the way. Gengar was the Death card, and I quite like the shading I did with the dot work, and then sort of like flicks with the pen for that. Practicing techniques. Wheel of Fortune is all the Eevees, evolutions, that I've just done the lines in pen. I haven't actually shaded yet. And then Psyduck is the Hanged Man with his little headache, which is just still in pencil at the moment. So that's kind of give you an idea. You'll probably get asked to do flash sheets and ranges of things and that, and then these I'm presuming will, well, I thought they'd be going on a flash sheet and then I may tattoo them on fake skin later. I guess we've not got to that yet. I didn't realise the work sells tracing paper. They do, yeah, I've actually got it here in front of me. Oh, when I stop dropping everything. Yes, this is the tracing paper pad they have. You get 30 sheets. I think it's like £2 or something, I can't remember. But that's the tracing paper. It's alright, it does the job. Yeah, so I've been doing that, and actually now I have started to draw digitally. So my mentor has actually lent me his old iPads, which is cool because I never used this before, and he's having me draw these designs on the iPad and learn digital drawing. So I'm just going to show you that quick just to catch up to where we're up to. I've just got to unlock it, 1 second. And I will make sure I've got the right bit here. Let me just get this out. So I'm just going to show you it. I skipped ahead a little bit before I was told to do things because I don't fully listen, and I like to just jump in. So let me just change the layer to show you what we did. Give me a second. I'm still learning, so I'm a little bit slow. I know a lot of people do digital drawing all the time. I never have, so this is all completely new to me. I've literally just learned this today, from about lunchtime today, on and off. So all completely new. Bear with me. Right, so what he did was, I'll talk you through it. If you haven't ever done this before, like me, this is what he did. So he took my tracing picture of Pikachu and he took a photo of it on the iPad. And then he went onto the layers bit. I would hold this up and do it, but I am not very good. And he put the opacity down to about halfway, which just washes it out a bit. Then he added a new layer and told me to trace all the outline on it, which I did, and then to trace and do the shading on it, you know, for like the frame of the card. So I did that, and also with the tracing paper, it does the job, and I would recommend going there first and getting it because it saves you a bit of money than going somewhere more expensive like an art shop or WH Smith, which it might be better quality, but while you're starting out, if you're on a budget like me, saves you some money, works just as well. Yes, so I did trace everything and do the shading, so then it ended up looking like this, so you could see the old bit underneath. So then I carried on and I traced the frame first and shaded that because I want to find out how to save that frame by itself to use as a template for all the other cards so they're all the same. So that's a separate thing. So I did a separate layer to do Pikachu in the middle. So once I did Pikachu, this is what it looked like. Okay, so you still got the old sort of picture, my original hand drawing underneath. So then what I did was I turned the opacity right down on the original picture, and then this is what we're left with. So from the tracing to this, and that's all I was supposed to do, but I skipped ahead because obviously Pikachu can't stay like that, and I wanted to learn, so I had to play around with the app and decided to try some colour. I've not finished yet, so I'm going to do black and white versions and then some colour versions. So that's where I'm up to today. That's everything I've done. So as sort of like a record of everything, apprentice wise, work wise, answering questions and stuff, all of that. So this is where I'm going forward, as well as hand drawing. Put that back. And that's it so far. Other things, I had a chat with the owner. We looked around the studio. We've got a load of new people coming in, moving stations around, so that was exciting. Still don't know where I'm going to be. It seems quite full, so I'm not sure where I have a space, when I have a space, when I eventually get to start practicing with a machine. So we'll see. There's talk of an expansion, so maybe I'll be in the expansion. Who knows? And also some team building days out to places like Yorkshire Sculpture Park, stuff like that. So if we do get to do any of that, I will be talking about that in the streams. So I think that'll just be that for now. I've gone through everything that I wanted to today. Anyone wants to see anything next week in particular to do with everything I've spoken about today, you know, drawing, tattoos, apprenticeship tips and things like that, then send me a message on here with a suggestion, or an Instagram, whichever, and I will bring that up and cover it. And it also gives me a chance, if you've got a question, I can try and find out the answer for you in advance. Otherwise, I think next week I might just sort of talk you through what to expect in the studio when you go in, obviously as a customer, but if you're wanting an apprenticeship or you're starting an apprenticeship, things that I've found are good to do or I've learnt sort of from being in the studio, I might go through that with you, maybe if it's helpful, as well as catch you up on any work that I've done or anything that's happened art-wise. I have been watching some sort of documentaries on Netflix, so I will get a note of them, you know, like some creative ones and that. I will note them down and have a chat with you about that next week. So yeah, I think that's it for now. I'm going to get off, and yeah, any questions or anything, just send them through, and I'm going to save this stream onto YouTube in case you miss it and you want to look back at it or listen to it at any time for, you know, just to help you out. So yeah, it's been nice. Thanks for everyone that's been watching and chatting and interacting and everything, and I will see you next Tuesday around the same time, and we'll have another catch up and see how everything goes. So I will see you next week. Bye bye.